What's up, storytellers? I'm Clark Rowanson, the Magic Engineer, and it's time for something completely different. That's Monty Python. Oh well, we're gonna go with it. This is the launch adventure that we are doing for my debut fantasy novel, Spawn Point, which is a LitRPG novel, and LitRPG novel, lots of game mechanics. So we have taken the mechanics out of the game system, ripped it out, hacked it, mixed it with Open Legend, and we're going to be playing through an adventure with my amazing players that I have. I'm very excited for this. This is going to be great. Before we get to that, just some really quick legal stuff. So LMBPN LLC owns all the rights to the logos, book covers, artwork, and book contents that is shown or discussed in this video. All of this is being done with permission for promotional purposes only. LMBPN LLC is not responsible for the content of this video or advertisement as it is concerned. Legal things need to be said. And from there, we can go ahead and move on. I'm just going to go in the order that people showed up in the stream. That's why there's not some elaborate pecking order going on here as to who got put where, at least not that I'm telling anybody about. So, Aaron, if you want to go ahead and intro yourself and where people can find you, as well as your character.
Yes. You see, I was here first because I actually waited in line in a tent on the street for 48 hours. So I'm player one, just so everyone knows. Hi, this is Aaron. I'm Aaron Fours. I'm an actor, an author, a narrator, and all-around nerd. And you can find me online as Aaron Fours, AARONFORS. Go to my website, aaronforrest.com, or follow my YouTube channel. That's me.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. And Rennie, you're up.
Hello. Also an all-around nerd here. My name is Rainey. I play games a lot, and that is why if you look for me on the internet, you'll find me under Rainey Plays Games. That is my podcast. I mainly do solo role-playing game, but I do group games, discussions about running better games, interviews with people like Clark. That's how we met. So yeah, if you like general all-around nerdery around a table and dice, come hang. And I'm excited to be playing.
Awesome. Yeah. Everybody who is on my channel is going to be shocked and appalled with how nerdy we are. It is going to be completely unexpected. I mean, it's just a YouTube channel about magic systems. I don't know what they're expecting. Barney, you're up.
My name is Barney Smith. I have my storycomic.com. I have 3 podcasts. I do one about children's books, one about authors, and another one about independent comic creators. Knocking on almost 500 episodes right now. And I'm also a nerd. And I'm going to guess I might be the oldest one here because I remember having Nintendo 8-bit and thinking this is realistic graphics. This is amazing. I can't believe we're playing real life right now with this 8-bit graphics card.
Actually, so that is an important safety rule that I want to cover for this game right now. We do not mention the age of any of the things that were formative to us. I was part of a class where somebody mentioned the really old anime called Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was personally hurt. So we're just not going to do that. And we're not going to ask about people's age. We're just going to move forward.
I just got to point out that, Gen X, when we're the oldest generation, we're going to have the coolest nursing homes. We're just going to be like, play that old music. That Metallica music is amazing. And just like, Grandpa, we're not listening to that old timey music again. But that's about me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Ian, you're up.
I'm Ian Woodworth. I am one half of the podcast Under Common Taste. We are a TTRPG homebrew podcast. And I remember as a child when the computers used to scream in pain when we connected to the internet, and we should have taken that as an omen.
So anybody watching, I'm sure you were picking up a theme on who my guests are. We've got nerds and we've got a bunch of podcasters that I met because I liked their stuff, bothered them until I got on their show and was like, hey, come play games. So
hey, in fairness, I bothered you to get on my show because I heard you on World Build with us.
That is fair. That is fair. So with all of that, we're set up to dive into this where there's going to be a bit of world building. This is just part 1 of the adventure that is on YouTube now. Obviously, I almost said in the future, but magic of recording and whatnot. And then part 2 is going to be live streamed immediately before the launch party of Spawn Point. The launch party is October 25th. The launch party starts at 1 p.m. Pacific time and is going to be a bunch of stuff. I'm going to be digging into the mechanics of the actual game system and magic system, talking about that. Going to be doing a chapter reading. I'm going to be doing a Q&A where when you ask questions, you get to decide what silly voice I have to answer in. And it's going to be a great time. And the more questions I do, the more it's going to bleed together and it's going to be stupid fun. And that's going to be good. And right before that, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time, we are going to be live streaming part 2 of this adventure. So enough of all of that nonsense. We can actually get into the adventure now. So where all of this is taking place, got to do a little bit of an info dump so some of this makes sense to everybody. In the world that Spawn Point takes place in and where our players come in, humanity has progressed to the point where they have achieved the singularity technology. Mankind can be uploaded into, have their consciousness uploaded into machines. This led to a whole bunch of problems, as you may expect, and fast forward probably several centuries, overpopulation, handling resources, all of that kind of thing. They came up with a solution that was called the eternal singularity. And at this point where the book starts, being uploaded into the eternal singularity has become a rite of passage. It's not safe, but the people who choose to can undergo the trial, attempt to be uploaded, and if successful, they become what is called an external, because they are a person who is from the external world. And they become players in the eternal singularity. The eternal singularity is filled with thousands upon thousands of worlds of basically any kind of story, genre, or archetype you could imagine. So as an external, you can pick whichever one you want to go into. And where we are going is a world called Aeonia. It is your standard fantasy world. It's got some history with a bunch of things that happened long ago, long wars, long forgotten, monsters in the wilds, and factions, all of that kind of stuff. We're not dealing with any of that right now. What we are dealing with is a place in the clifflands of Titan's Reach, which is a gorgeous landscape to the east of the Sea of Steel. It is tiered clifflands where you have cliffs and plateaus that is filled with forests and vegetation. So where you aren't surrounded by trees, you can often see far into the distance over cliffs and sometimes all the way to the Sea of Steel. What marks this place in particular, this mountain range, is out of the cliffs and sometimes out of the forest floor are massive bones of long dead titans that can be found. You guys are just on a dirt road making your way towards what once was a frontier town, but has in the past couple of years seen a lot of success in terms of mining resources, and they have been booming. It is the town of Titan Crest. You know of it, you don't know a ton, but you guys have recently you haven't been in Aeonia too long, but you ended up banding together, having a brief adventure, and are on the dirt road towards Titan Crest. So with that, I would like to give you each a chance to go ahead and introduce your characters. Give us a description, tell us a little bit about your race. We won't worry too much about themes or anything like that right now. So, Aaron.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Felicius Fitchspark, but you can call me Felly. And I am a Lumalux, if hopefully I'm saying my own species correctly. So as a result, my underneath my skin, as if my veins or blood are glowing slightly, I'm a very bright person. I have a bright personality. So I make my way through the world, just following the waves and just flowing along with existence. I'm a happy-go-lucky sort, or so it seems. I solve my problems through making bonds, friendship, or perhaps a bit of trickery. Maybe even a little bit of the old intimidation if it must come to it. But I'm a social wheeler and dealer. I found that I'm allergic to hard work, and if I'm charming enough, I can get others to do it for me quite well, which I presume happened on the last adventure quite a bit. So I'm very, very sorry about all the work you all had to do. You worked very hard, very proud of you, and I'm glad to be here.
Sorry, not sorry. Rennie,
Yeah, no, I don't think very sorry.
go ahead and introduce us to Dendron.
Yes, so I am playing Dendron Briar Hawthorne. Usually just goes by DBH. Gruff, doesn't say a lot of words, terse and just... So I'm a walking tree, kind of big sequoia-esque, kind of, evergreen, cones, needles, all this stuff. A big lunk. Happy to do fellies, heavy lifting is kind of the vibe that we got when we made our characters. So definitely was like the odd pair. But yeah, I'm big and not afraid to just kind of like, my style is defend my friends, big, imposing, quiet, that type, the big one. That's
Excellent.
what Dendron plays.
Excellent. Quindle. I'm just going to start calling you by your character names. That seems
All right.
seems like a good time.
Quindle Queston. You know what? And I just realized that as you as a tree, I made a character that's almost like Rocket Raccoon, but like a nice version of Rocket Raccoon.
Perfect.
So I'm basically do I have a species name at all, Clark? It's like an anthropomorphic squirrel, basically.
Yeah, I didn't have an official race for this when we were going through character creation. So, no, we don't actually have a name for this race.
So I am incredibly inquisitive. I collect mysteries and solve riddles. I believe that all knowledge should be freely accessible to everyone. So anytime there's something that is unsolvable, then my job is to make sure that I love to making sure that everybody knows what the answer is to that. I go through doors. If a locked door does not stop me, I am extremely a very curious nature. I love collecting things as we're walking through, and I don't consider it stealing if it's just there. I don't want to say I'm like a generic kender in any sense of imagination, because I do have a sense of my character does have a sense of like I do have a moral compass to myself, but at the same time it's that I really believe that there's obstacles are just a way to are just a bump in the road, and I find stories and I love meeting new people, and just loyalty is given unless somebody gives me a reason to not trust them. But I freely trust and make friends easily with anybody, except if that's something that somebody feels as though they wrong me in some way.
Perfect. Yeah, one of my favorite books growing up was The Iron Ring, and in there's the Bandaloka, who are the monkey people, and they have a phrase that is if it's not stealing if it's not nailed down, and if you can pry it loose, it's not nailed down. So Ian, let's go over to you.
All right. I also don't recall what my racial name is. I'm a rock person.
Silicari.
Silicari. Okay. Let me make a note of that.
It's not that critical.
Yeah, but I like to know things. So my character's name is Lodestone. If Rainey's character is a Groot equivalent and Barney's character is a Rocket Raccoon equivalent, mine is a Korg equivalent. He's kind of happy-go-lucky. He tends to wax philosophical, but forgets to verbalize that sometimes.
Nice.
He is a very large rock person. He's sort of this dull gray, sort of almost metallic looking rock person, and he's got all of these little divots, mostly around his face. It looks like he got shot in the face with buckshot. And in most of these, you see like these little tiny crystalline growths. Most of them are like little garnets, but you also see a few little quartz crystals and a couple little jet crystals. Basically, he has rock acne. So that is him. And his big thing is standing in the way, breaking things, and he is starting to experiment with gravity manipulation.
Ooh.
Right. Awesome. So we've got a rock, we've got a tree, we've got a squirrel, and we have a flashlight. This is great. So you guys have.
I think it's wrong moose and squirrel.
This sounds like a setup for one of the best fantasy jokes I've heard. But you guys have had your adventure, and you are making your way to Titan Crest. It's a beautiful day out. There are birds in the trees. The breeze is blowing gently, and the sun is out. And as you come to the town, there's a lot of birds in the trees, including Hawthorne.
Yeah, just waving them away. Oh, come on. I should probably welcome. I think Hawthorne would welcome them. For the record, not an animal hater, Hawthorne.
That's fair. As you turn a bend in the road, you see Titan Crest in the distance. It's a small town, but it's definitely a town. This is not a village. This is not a hamlet. And you can see people bustling about and going about their business. The sun is setting lower in the sky, and you guys are worn out. What would you like to do?
I think so. We're worn out. We've been walking all day, haven't we?
More or less.
And I would say if they would let me, because I'm kind of very light, I might even just be like sitting on top of my rock friend and more my tree friend.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's very funny because I was about to ask the tree to carry me, and I'm not very light, especially, but
Fine. It's fine. Yep.
so that's what we're doing. Boy, that looks like a beautiful town.
So, Hawthorne, Lodestone, what do you guys want to do with your unexpected burdens?
I don't think that Lodestone has even noticed yet.
I guess it depends on who has Quindle and who has Felly, right? Because if there's whoever has Quindle, it's probably no problem whatsoever. If I'm carrying Felly, it's not that Hawthorne is too exhausted, but can feel the slowing down, right? The creaking of the branch. And there's probably multiple attempts to just lean over and be like, hit the ground, Felly. Come on, this is your exit, and like doesn't take it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
clinging on like a cat.
Yeah, I get the feeling that he is riding in you because you're more comfortable.
Is there anything particular you guys want to do? Any places you want to seek out? Or anything like that? Or we can just kind of proceed, because as this is a roughly one-shot, a little more scripted than I usually like, but here we are.
Are we quite close to the town?
Yeah, you're coming up on it. You can reach it in another 10 minutes of walking, easy.
Okay, so I'm going to say I'm famished and I could really use a bed. Do we want to seek out a tavern or something? Get some food?
Some place with a bath. Lodestone wants a soak.
Yeah. Similarly, anywhere that there's like a trough or just a big pool of water, I think that's how Hawthorne just kind of like dips a root in.
We're looking for a hot springs. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah.
We're starting off with the hot springs episode.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
And that's great. This answers the main
intro.
question that I was going to have. The main first decision was whether you guys wanted to go carousing and celebrating or chill and relax. This is sounding like a chill and relax vibe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, this is where, in case anybody watching this doesn't believe that these things are live and extemporaneous, here's an example of where it is, because I forgot to look up the name of the inn that is used in the book. So we're just going to have to move forward. There are several inns in town. But asking around, one of the ones that you get pointed to is just called Titan's Rest. And you have to go through the town, go through the main thoroughfare. There's a number of roads. There's still dirt roads, but the main one that you're going on is mostly cobblestone. This seems to be a newer feature, but this town is clearly developing. And one of the things that stands out is when you get about halfway through the town, the sound of a river keeps building and building. And there are a series of bridges. And you realize that there is a river running right through the center of the town. And just across the way, on the other side of the bridges, there is Titan's Rest. So you are able to make your way into the inn. The innkeeper is very easy to get along with. Nice, warm, welcoming woman. Says, "Oh yeah, loves, we can get you set up right good. We've had some Arborians in our time. You want a trough? We've actually got a pool set up in the back. Well, not really a pool, more of a fish pond, but you're welcome to use that if you want. And we can draw you a bath, sweetie. That's not a problem. Is there anything else I can get for you? Anything else you guys want?
Do you have any food for folks that need a little bit more than water?
Absolutely, we can do that, sweetie. Do you want stew or let me? Stew. So we have stew.
I'll take stew. Yeah, of the choices, I think stew.
It's very good stew, I will say. So,
and just curious, how do you plan? Do we? I'm sure that you'd prefer like some currency with this, but is there any you amicable to any bartering? Because I have a satchel of things I picked up on the way, and I didn't know if any of this would interest you. And I just kind of like start dumping out a little bit of just anything we found during our travels, just dumping out some random stuff.
I mean, she will pick through it. Absolutely. She's like, "Oh, this is nice. This is nice. None of this is stolen, is it? Like, I'm not going to take any of these as payment and have somebody show up and be like, hey, this is a nice shiny mug that I want back."
I guarantee no one's going to miss any of this stuff. And I grabbed there's like a toe ring with a toe still connected to it. I just kind of put that back in the satchel real quick. I have no idea where that came from. But
I just want to say that Hawthorne has a pretty good knowledge stat and knows currency and knows how to do all this stuff, but prefers people thinking he's not going to say much and is just a simple Arborian. So I think, oh yeah, there's a pond in the back. Please, by all means, go make yourself comfortable. He just kind of nods, rustles some leaves, drops a few pine cones on the counter, and just begins sauntering out the back door, thinking they're gonna think, oh, he must think that's money or something. But he's just kind of let's see how long this lasts. We're gonna see. Felly usually handles it from here,
Yeah.
And it's not particularly expensive.
So more
there are other
Gotcha.
places that you can get food. There's a town square where there are a bunch of markets and stuff set up where you can go get some other food. The stew just happens to be what they've been brewing here. Money isn't really going to be a problem, but if any of you would like to make a manipulation or some kind of perception roll, you are welcome to. Is there anybody who is interested in that?
Yeah, I would be quite interested in a manipulation roll, but really, so it sounds like the payment is, well within our means of our humble coin. So what I'd really like to do is I want to try and get her on our side. I want to chat her up, and I'd like to kind of get some intel into this town. This is our new town. We are unemployed layabouts, and I'd like to maybe figure out if there are any jobs that we could do around town. I want to try and befriend her.
Okay, go ahead and give me a manipulation roll.
Okay.
And while you're looking up the stats, for people who are watching, a lot of this is based off of Open Legend, which is a open source RPG, TTRPG that I absolutely love. The way it works is you always roll a d20, and then depending on your attribute score, you get bonus attribute dice that you add in.
Okay, so looks like with my tasty score, my 4 in manipulation, looks like I'm working with a d10, so I think I'm to roll a d20 and a d10.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
And the D10 explode. So
if you get a 10, yeah.
Ooh, okay. All right. Okay. And so, so as I begin this manipulation, I'm going to ask her name. I'm going to say, boy, you have, I've never seen such, whatever color those eyes are, eyes. Really, have you ever worked in drama on the stage? You're wasted on just a tavern, Okay, so you're not going to believe this, but I do have an exploding D10. I've only got a 14 on a D20, I don't know how I can.
14
can't
and a
cheat.
10 though. Oh man,
A 14 and a 10.
Okay.
it's always a pleasure watching
So
Felly
with
work.
the 10, you keep the 10, so that's currently a 24, and you roll the
Got it.
10 again, and you add
Okay.
that result on as well.
Okay. Do they only explode once, I presume?
They only explode once. So that is a difference between how I run these things and how Open Legend works. But it
Wild.
sounds like you're at a 34, huh?
Okay.
Cool.
I swear to Christ.
No, it's good. It's good. I mean, she got
Amazing.
some good rolls,
Good.
but
good for
not
her.
that high. But I think how this works is that you were successful, but she's an innkeeper. She knows what you're doing, but she's here for it. So she chats back with you, and her name is Bethany. She's a very nice lady. And one of the things that you pick up as you talk to Bethany is just that the stuff that Quindle gave her didn't really change the cost of the rooms at all. But she was humoring him because he looks very sweet. In terms of work, if you lot come down and closer to dinner time, I mean, we have externals coming through here every now and then. I'm sure there will be somebody who's looking for help. In fact, I think Neb was looking for something. He's been coming around the last couple of nights. So, yeah, but you've got time before people usually start showing up.
We
Well,
really
Bethany,
appreciate it.
You
Yeah.
really are just so helpful. And you're right. He is a cute little fellow. You know, if you ask nicely, you could probably pet the fur. It's surprisingly dense.
He wouldn't be upset about that.
No, I don't mind. I pull out a couple pine cones that I've taken earlier from the satchel to put them down.
So
And,
what does your fur feel like as she gives you like a pat on the head and some scritch around the neck?
Delightfully coarse, I would say. Yeah.
Delightfully coarse.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I slip her surreptitiously the appropriate amount of coins for a room in an inn.
Perfect. Yeah, and that was something that you two kind of had some banter between of when you were talking about the value of the room. You picked up on the sly. So, Quindle, if you would like, you can do a roll to see if you pick up on this. I don't know if that really seems.
No, I'm fine. I look at Lodestone and I say, "Did you see she took my favorite button too? I mean, of all the things I dumped out."
Would you say that loud enough for her to hear that?
No, I said that because
Okay.
I have my relationship with Lodestone is like he's gonna like the one that I will confess my frustrations with normally, I guess too.
and he just nods, and he has this very sage look on his face, and he again forgets to actually verbalize the things that are going through his head. So he's like got that like that. Oh yeah, that's tough there, bud. Yeah.
It's such a deep rock.
Excellent.
And so he's just Lodestone is very uncomfortable by all of the social interaction going on here, and he's just sort of lingering there waiting for his bath to be ready. And at one point he's not really thinking, and he goes to sit down on a stool and he hears it snap under him, and he just sort of props it back up, and he hopes that nobody noticed.
That's great. And you guys don't have to wait long, because I think the way that this is likely to play out is Felly is going to be talking Bethany up, and she's going to notice the stool. She's like, "Don't worry, love, we've got some Silicari stools for you over there." But for now, she's going to slide keys to each of you. How many rooms are you wanting then between the four of you? Four
Is
rooms
Hawthorne
seems-
going to want to sleep indoors?
No, I think Hawthorne is, probably just gonna post up outside, if that's okay with them. I mean, pay a fee, but for having a person at the inn, but not need to take
Of
up
course,
a room if
of
that's
course.
okay. With them.
So she slides 3 keys
Three.
across, and I think just with a little bit of peek, it's going to be three keys and a wooden spoon that is supposed to signify your lot in the backyard. Hawthorne.
Wonderful.
And then you guys are able, she's going to get her scritches with Quindle. Quindle and Lodestone, you are able to go off and start doing your bath while Felly and Bethany chat more.
Nice.
You guys, at this point, all of you have a nice, relaxing time. Lodestone, you're able to take a really nice bath. Quindle, there's plenty of people moving around that you can be chatting to, asking people about their careers. There's a bunch of interesting stuff going on here. I don't know if you're going to try and intentionally take anything, but they're used to travelers. They welcome travelers. They welcome externals. This seems to be a very friendly town. And Hawthorne, the pond is nice. It's nice. It's big enough that you don't really have to worry about draining it at all. Might decrease the level a little bit, and the ducks eventually become used to you being there because they prefer the pond over the coursing river that is nearby. But is there any last relaxation or tending to your equipment or anything that you guys really want to do before you come down for supper?
Well, let's see.
Usually what I would in my room, I would probably, just the way my species does, is like kind of like nesting. So what I would probably end up doing is, whatever the bed is, I'm just gonna like clump up all the blankets and I'll like spin around a lot in there just to make it more of a nest thing, and then get it all set up just right, and then take my satchel and find out things. And like, I also like to leave things behind as well, almost like just like, so put a few things, little knickknacks that from my other species would might like to find someday. So I might find something and I'll stick it underneath a floorboard or something along those lines, and just create mysteries as well of like solving them at the same time.
Nice.
Perfect.
I'm going to clean it up, but subtly. So we've got all this dirt and whatnot on us from the road and traveling. So I'm going to kind of carefully make myself smell nice, but look, like roguishly a bit dirty still from the road. Just in case when it's time to chit chat with Neb or whatnot, so that we look cool.
Smell nice, but looking more like Strider than an actual vagabond. Okay, that's fine. So that all is not a problem. It's a very nice experience. You guys come down for dinner an hour or so later, and the attendance is picking up. You guys sit down. There's a reinforced stool waiting for you, Lodestone, and there's extra space for Hawthorne. You can tell that Bethany is used to doing hospitality for all sorts of people. You guys get your bowls of stew along with the bread, and it is quite tasty, very savory, lots of veggies in there. And as you guys are chowing down, you're maybe halfway, 2/3 through your meal, when Bethany comes over and just raps on your table and says, "Yes, here's Neb now, loves. I'll send him over to you if that's all right." And
Please.
She points out a figure who is short. You have a hard time picking him out at first as he's moving through the crowd, but it is somebody about the size of Quindle, actually, but rather than being kind of squirrely looking, is more of a dog. Has fur that's a nice sandy color, or maybe even like sawdust that is covering his face and arms. And it's not like a pug snout, but it's not a full wolf snout either. It's kind of in between the two. Two big ears on his head, but one of them is flopped over. So in short, he is short and stinking adorable. And Bethany goes and meets him and sends him over to your way, and he doesn't really scurry. He kind of does this thing that's, it's like it's halfway between like a walk and a bounce. as he just sort of like comes over to you, and it just says, "Hello, I am Nebanat, and Nebanat is me, but please call me Neb. I am in much need of assistance, and Bethany, bless her kind heart, said that you were externals coming through the town. Is this true?"
Lodestone just nods as he is putting a truly unconscionable quantity of salt into his soup. to the point where it gets crunchy.
All right. Well, so I look at the others, and then I look at Neb, and I say, yes, noble Neb. She has told us of you. May we ask, what manner of assistance might you need from externals?
Well, it is a delicate proposition. So, you see, I am a purveyor of poultices, a tradesman of tinctures, and a salesman of salves. So, I am the herbalist of this fine town, and the finest herbalist in this town, if I may be so bold. I do have a master, though, and I have not heard from her in 3 days, and I am getting quite worried. So, I was hoping you could go check in on my master. I fear for the worst, but,
And this is just for anybody who's considering the launch party. This is just an example of the type of bleed and loss of voice that you're going to get with characters. So, because I had a thing in my head and it's already drifting away, and that's fine. But I would be most pleased if you could check in with my master and see if she is all right. And if not, there are some materials that I would much appreciate if you could collect.
As an Arborian, how I would imagine this could go one of two ways. Maybe I do a lot of business with herbalist types because as a plant person, I can produce things that they may want, or work closely with them. Or is it more like I got to keep my eye out for those herbalist types? I'm leaning towards being more inclined to help just for the sake of the story, obviously.
It definitely depends on the herbalist. I mean,
Okay.
Neb seems okay. He hasn't been trying to cut any trimmings or test any needles or anything like that. So he at least seems to be respectful of personal space, even if you are a plant person.
Mhm.
Which is something that not everybody respects. Like, oh, look, a tree.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm going to look at these pine cones. What do you mean that hurts? No, he's not like that.
Yeah, and that's actually, I think, regardless. My first joke I was going to say, like when he came over, was I was just going to skirt away because dogs pee on trees.
Yeah, at least you didn't,
But obviously this is a dog person, so it's different. And so yeah, I think at the very least DBH probably. There's almost like I'm trying to think of like. I can't do accents as well as all of you, so I was thinking like, what would Hawthorne's voice sound like? And I think it's almost like the rustle of leaves, right? Like through branches, right? Like it's kind of like this. It'd be raspy if it was a human voice, but it's more almost like wind wisp kind of sounds.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I think that there's like a whisper to Feli where it's just like, I'm interested in what his master does.
Okay, so you ask about the nature of his master.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So you convey this to Feli, is that what you're saying?
I think,
Okay.
if this is okay with you, I imagine I let you do most of the talking because it
I
usually
see.
goes better that way.
Yeah, that's fair.
I do
okay.
the sketchy external thing where I'm just gonna lean over. Right, friend.
So I put on a performance of very seriously listening, like there were a lot of considerations here. And then I turn back to Neb and I say, well, the loss of a powerful herbalist, unknown status, the retrieval of materials, those are really separate jobs, if you will. But this does sound like a noble cause. I believe we would be interested in providing our expert services for a reasonable fee.
Yes. Reasonable fee. And how much is a reasonable fee for you fine gentlemen?
Hang on, I have one question here. And so the way his mind is working is that it's I think it's a completely relevant question in my mind, but has no relevance whatsoever into what
It's
the
fine,
actual
ask.
thing is. It's like talking about what kind of jars does your master use? And like I'm really intent on the answer too. Like I'm really into it now.
And Feli is acting like this is totally normal. Like, yeah.
Yes. She has a plethora of vials and a variety of vials, a plethora of filters. Many are in glass, and some are wood, and others are amber.
I
So
jump
it's-
on the table, and when he says glass, I says, any purple glass. It's very important.
He takes this very seriously, actually. So he stops.
What shade of purple are you?
Mostly deep violet is really important. It's
Some, but if it makes a difference, I believe that it is mostly due to staining from the concoctions that she has put in the glass.
I look at my friends. We need to do something about this.
And if I may add, we discussed this a little bit in character creation as, again, foreshadowing. But I do think that another way that Hawthorne helps here is I think that there's like almost like a peel of bark, right? Like he kind of peels a piece of bark off and just begins like scratching with one of his like ends of his twigs. And it's like you can see, and actually this is maybe a hint for everybody else, the end of one of his branches that comes around like starts to smoke and like burn just the littlest bit until it's kind of like resiny, and he begins writing. And as Feli was like, ooh, like missing master, missing, all this stuff, like listing out like these are different jobs. I think Hawthorne is writing almost like a contract, right? Of like, okay, well, like our usual fee for this is this, our usual fee for this is this, and so slowly working on that.
And I actually think this is a perfect time to talk about one of the things that is in the system. Talk about it more at the launch party, but it's going to be relevant here. So some of the things that really shape the characters in this system are the themes that they get access to. They get access to themes in a variety of ways that will become more clear later in the adventure. But Hawthorne, with that, why don't you just go ahead and let everybody know what your two themes are?
My two themes, I believe because we have to take one back, are fire and growth.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, as a tree, obviously I grow, but fire is maybe a weird one for a tree to have, but there will be reasons.
Yeah. So, and that is the answer he has for the vials. There is purple, but it is mostly due to stains. And yeah, in terms of fees, we don't have to make BS.
Yeah, I was going to say, what is a reasonable price for us to negotiate for?
I think what I am willing to do for you fine gentlemen is I am willing to ply my practices and trade my talents. And I can't think of another alliteration at the moment, but this is interesting. And trade my talents would be one thing. I do have a fair number of bits that I can give all of you gentlemen as well. So, I don't know what we say, 100 bits, and I can provide some potions and tinctures of your choosing.
So at this point,
Sounds quite
Lodestone has finished crunching his soup, and has pulled an actual nail out, and is picking his teeth with it, and he's going to ask, so what kind of pharmaceuticals do you make?
I make healing salves. I can do anti-venom toxins. I can do a variety of things. If you have something that needs to help you sleep.
Define variety of things.
What do you need?
Are you a drug dealer?
No.
Are you a drug dealer peddling purple drink? That's kind of what I'm getting at with you got these.
No, most definitely not.
Good.
Everything that I do is for
he
healing
eats the
or
nail.
occasionally hurting, but not for. The only recreation I engage in with my herbalism is the recreation of the herbalism itself. If you want that kind of thing, you will have to go speak to somebody else in town. I'm sorry.
Now, simply for our knowledge in this new town, who would we go to if we were looking for something like that? Who should we avoid, really, is what I'm saying.
Right, yeah. What awful places do have these intoxicants?
Give me a
Unreputable
manipulation.
herbalists. Okay.
Which herbalist specifically?
All right, here we go. D20 and D10. I'll do this D10 this time. I want
Yes.
a camera to show you. I can't. Hold on. My hands have not left. All right, my hands have not left. Can you? There's
I can see that. Yes.
my microphone disconnected. It is the 0 and 13. So almost the same.
Okay.
I'm not touching. And I got a 9.
Okay. That is more than enough. Neb is going to give you a long, hard look, and then he relaxes and just sort of rambles off and goes off a number of names. There's some people, he tries to mostly be complimentary. You can tell that he is trying not to say bad things, but he does give you a list of people where he's like, you need to double check their stuff, because sometimes the healing poultices aren't just healing poultices, but they're doped with something to make you feel like you've been healed more than you have. So that's more the direction he goes, but you would be able to infer if that means that he has some downers and that kind of thing. So
Nice.
even some where he's like,
He says that this is an invigoration potion. It most certainly is not. It is just a intoxicant.
Nice. Okay, fantastic. I presume that that you are taking notes, my good tree, Dendron.
Absolutely, yep.
Yeah, thank you,
Everything's being
thank you.
scratched down.
Yeah,
Circles.
wonderful.
There's definitely ones where it's like, this is where you want to go. Here's-
So, do you have any idea? So first off, what is her last known location? And do you know anyone that might have wanted to harm her or kidnap her? Or...
yes, one moment, please. And he is going to scurry around between the tables and find a chair, and he's going to bring it back as best he can. But it involves him lifting it up, scurrying a little bit, setting it down, lifting it up, scurrying.
Lodestone sees this and he just walks over and he picks it up one hand and just with him still holding on to it, and he's going to carry the chair and Neb back to the table and set him down at the table.
Perfect. When you do that, Neb's tail starts wagging, and he lets out a little extra. So he has no problem with that at all. But you said that he's going to scramble up onto the chair, and he's going to lean in and get very serious.
So, my master is what some people would call a plant witch. She is out in the wilds. She's out in the wilds. Her haven is to the northwest. If you to the north, and sometimes it is just straight to the north, and sometimes it is to the northwest. It is in an area I can send you in a general direction. I have been there before, but I believe it moves. She is very tricksy. She is. But as for
What is her name?
Hurt her. See, and this is another classic GM thing. He's like, I don't know. Her name is Catrice. Catrice. As for who would hurt my...
Lodestone doesn't want to just start wandering into the wilds yelling, "Hey, witch!" and and hope for the best.
Yeah, I think Dendron, upon hearing plant witch, is even more kind of like, okay, this little dog fella seems like, genuinely concerned and would help, but like even more now, what is she getting up to?
Let me see if Neb picks up on your discomfort at all.
Should I roll composure or?
If you're wanting to hide it from him, you can.
I think that's kind of the game that Dendron plays most of the time. So yeah, if just for funsies,
go for
I
it.
can
Yeah.
try.
So this would be
First
contested
roll
roll. This would be composure, most definitely.
All right, I get a plus 1d6 on this.
Nice.
Not great. 14 total.
Well, he rolled a 3 and a 3, so
Okay.
he does not notice at all. He is very focused on his task. But he does go to something saying,
So some people get very worried when they hear witch, and she is a very nice woman. Her name is Catrice. She's a very nice woman. She just doesn't like the people as much as other people would like her to. And when people are rude, she sends them out very abruptly. So she is very nice. She has taught me much of what I know. And as for who would hurt her, I do not know. I mean, she dabbles in forces that can have consequences. I mean, just there is her experimentation. There are the forces that she has learned to call. I am just worried for Catrice. Now, and I realize this is a bit awkward, and I hate to even ask, but I am not an official apprentice, so I do not have pass into her home. But I would very much appreciate if you could find, if she is not all right, please find her will and testament. It is very, very important. It is a no, none are coming to me. I love Ned's little speech patterns, but I can't always do it on the fly. But it is a most parchment of most importance. It is a massive. It is a meaningful manuscript. If you could please get it for me, it would be more important than I even feel comfortable saying.
Okay. So Feli is just trying to gauge here if perhaps there's something going on behind the scenes, like if Neb is, sending us to find her, but he's actually not her apprentice or not her friend. I kind of want to determine if he might be fibbing, if he might be using us or not. I'm not certain that's the case, but now we're dealing with a will and testament, so that's what I'm ruminating on. Is there a way I can attempt to determine
Lodestone
this?
is also wondering why in the world he has automatically gone to will and testament in this conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems a bit abrupt.
Can I? I have my I have that power of analysis. I have perception surge. Could I use that?
Yes. Go ahead and read off the description for that.
Okay. This ability allows a character to expend wit to enhance their senses and intuition temporarily. This boost amplifies their perception, enabling them to detect subtle. Then it gets cut off. Subtle details or hidden threats. It is an effective tool for gaining a sensory advantage, whether in calm or high stress situations.
Yes,
Seems
I think
relevant.
that applies. Yeah,
Nice.
and
Right.
Just because I was not tech savvy enough to get all of this set up, the stats that he referred to, they have their attributes, and those are combined into a variety of resource pools. One of them is wit, which can be used to fuel abilities. So go ahead and mark the expenditure on your sheet so that you know how much wit you used, and go ahead and roll with advantage. And I believe that this can be, depending on what you want to use, this could be, I think, logic, composure, or manipulation, depending on how you're wanting to go about it. One very important thing that I forgot to go over when we were going through all of this, one of the things that I like to operate by is the yes but option, because failure is a complicated thing with TTRPGs that is more or less difficult depending on the system you're playing. But what I always like to do is, if you guys ever fail a roll that is very important to you, you can always ask for a yes but outcome, which means you will succeed, but I will make up a cost. And I will tell you what the cost is before you have to decide, and I have loved it ever since I started doing this mechanic. The core thing is part of Open Legend. I've tweaked it a little bit. It's always been great fun. But with that, go ahead and roll. And I believe it gives you advantage.
Okay. So I roll a 20, and then I have a D8 with that because I have a 3 in presence.
So you'll roll 2d8 and keep the highest.
2d8 and keep
Yes.
the highest. Okay.
Because you have advantage from perception surge.
But I still roll my 20.
Yes.
Okay.
Which
It's not good, folks. All right, so my D20 rolled a 3, And then my 2d10, my d8, I rolled a 1 and I rolled a 7.
Okay, so a 10 total.
Yeah.
That's what you got.
An
He-
11.
she- What's that?
An 11.
You said a 3 and a 7, right?
A 3 and a 7, then I rolled a d8 twice. So it was
you
a
have
1.
advantage, so you roll 2 dice and you keep the highest.
Oh, okay.
You drop
Yes,
the
then it's a whopping 10.
Yeah. He is very focused on what he is talking about. If there is any indication of lying or him trying to withhold something from you guys, you're not picking up on it. All you can pick up on is some very earnest concern. But you guys can always ask.
So when I'm intently looking at him, looking into his eyes, and all of a sudden I get distracted by looking at his earring that's dangling from this thing, and I'm just looking at the earring. I'm like, where did he get that earring? That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Okay. So you said we could always ask. So let's see. So do I know that you have this uncanny detection ability normally? That I do. This has probably come up that you are very good at determining intentions of things. So I'm going to look over at you, see if you're paying attention. Note that you are just looking at the earring. Sweet. And then I'm going to say, now, you wouldn't just happen to be like a rival herbalist that's trying to hunt her down or something, or steal her shit? Or anything like that? No, would you, Ned? You know, I've got to ask.
No, and I am most glad that you did ask. It is a reasonable question. It is a understandable request. No. Catrice is my master. We can talk more elsewhere if you really want, but suffice to say, she has worked with some forces. As I said, the forces that she has learned to tap into and trade with themselves are dangerous. Give me a presence roll.
Oh, yes.
Presence
Yes,
or
right.
manipulation.
Ooh. You know, I've done manipulation a lot. I'll try presence because
I
I've
think
also got a
this is feeling more like presence now that I say it, because you're not
Can you
you're
just-
not trying to compel him or anything. You're just straightforward.
Is this
Okay.
something you want us all to roll that?
Just your face.
Yeah, don't worry. Felly maxed out social. We're good.
Okay, so this is again just D20 and a D10. Okay, more reasonable. I've got a 6 and a 13, so 19 total.
19 total, still very good. Yeah, with
Okay.
he leans in very close and says,
She has trades with some dangerous powers, and she has many that are held in contracts and on leashes. And I am afraid of what might happen if they are not brought under control. I do not have access to her home because I am not officially. I wouldn't. So, I hope this is not getting too personal, but I have recently been seeing a wonderful gentleman named Ben, and Catrice wants me to go into the woods, and I don't want to go live in the woods as much as I want to learn from Catrice. So she has not seen. Anyway, the will and testament will have important information about some of these contracts, and I fear that if something has happened to her or something has come for her, I want to make sure that everything is stable.
Right, so that, like, for instance, a demonic entity doesn't, like, say, by law of contract, you owe him money or something. Or, like, he's gonna come for you and Ben. Or something like that.
That is a possibility, or there might be openings that are created between the worlds. I do not know what she has patched in the wilds and in the forces, and it could be dangerous to the people of Titan Crest if this is not addressed, or nothing may happen at all.
Do you think you could close those if there was, for instance, an evil portal to another realm?
I think I am the one who has the best shot. in town.
Okay. Right.
At the very least, if you can bring me the will and testament, I can take a look, and we will even know if there is any danger to be had.
Does Lodestone get a read off of this guy saying that he is actually magically capable of closing a portal?
How would you like to determine that?
I mean, I don't know. It's
Attunement?
Yeah, I guess that's my thing. Are you trying to gauge his intelligence? Are you?
No,
trying to see
I'm trying to gauge his actual ability.
Is it over 9,000? No, I'm sorry.
It is not going to be over 9,000. I can tell you that.
I had the scanner upside down. It's 1,006.
Oh, I love DBZ Bridge so much. Go ahead and roll attunement.
Okay, attunement. Not great. That's plus a D4. But that's a natural 20 plus 3, so 23.
Nicely done.
Okay. There is definitely there's definitely weavings of power around him.
Okay.
So you pick up on stuff that is connected to the earth and is connected to plants. He definitely has some weavings of power. It isn't anything prodigious, but you do know, even in your short time in Aeonia, that a little bit plus knowledge can be enough to handle these things.
Okay.
Nice.
So, are there any other questions or concerns that you have for Neb?
I actually feel good. I actually feel like this is what we would need. I mean, I feel out of my depth in dealing with random demons, but I'm not going to let him know that. Yeah. No, we're the team for this job, is what we are.
And I've definitely cooked the numbers to be pretty heavy on our end.
I am
excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is going to be a big relief to me. So my master, just so you are aware, my master's home will be filled with hidden hazards and likely cunning countermeasures and potentially fatal failsafes. Thank you so much. And then he's going to he did give
where is it?
Yeah.
Did give you
Sometimes
guys-
north and sometimes northwest.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
And I do think that through the conversation, or it may be that I think he's good. Here's what we'll do. He's like, I will leave a note with Bethany and with what information I have. Oh, by the way, her home. And then he gives you the grim warning and then scurries off. So yeah, Neb scurries off. And I'm assuming at this point, is there anything else you guys want to do, or are you just good to finish your dinners and then settle in for the night? Because it's you have some rough directions, even when he gets the stuff back to Bethany. And now I'm like, am I saying her name right? I don't know. Who cares? But it's probably not a good idea to be heading out into the wilds in the middle of the night. If you can.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Especially since we've just spent all day walking.
There is that.
I'm definitely good to get some sleep and then head out in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Hawthorne, you're sleeping outside?
Yeah, happy to do that. Or I mean, I guess I can stand post, whatever's easier. I think the thing with Hawthorne is he wants to be there for sunrise to feel the sun. I didn't take a photosynthetic kind of ability, but I imagine that is very much a part of how just his biology works. So yeah,
Okay.
happy to just kind of sentry out in the courtyard.
Well, okay. So you guys settle in for the night, and the sunset is beautiful over the treetops. You're starting to doze off, Hawthorne, when you feel a tapping at your leg.
Okay.
And if you look down, there's a very strange creature that is on the ground next to your leg with a claw that is just tapping. It's about the size of between a small and a medium dog. It looks kind of like a badger. It has like the big shovel hands,
but it has a hard beetle-like carapace on its back and has a long trunk for its snout. Are you awake? In a very deep voice for such a small creature.
Yeah, and kind of like the rustle, right, of branches and I am now. Yes.
And the beetle shell is gonna split open, and some fibrous wings are gonna appear. It's gonna buzz and come up to. Now that your eyes are open, it's gonna kind of buzz up to your height. Didn't ken if you're the ones that maybe talk to, but are you?
Yeah, a branch will come down for it to land on if you'd like to. If they'd like to, so that way they don't have to hover there. It looks like they're probably a bit heavier than, this flight is probably not easy. So puts an arm out and says, "We did speak with the dog. Yes, with them. Agreements were made.
So you're externals then, eh?
We are."
Do you mind if I ask what did he want you to do?
This is interesting. This is usually where Dendron or Hawthorne would deflect to Felly, right? But I think couching the language as much as possible, Dendron would say something along the lines of, "We drew up a contract to pursue a missing person.
Catrice, yeah?
That was the name given."
Well, if you want to get your lads, you can, or I can just talk to you. But I would much appreciate it. He does land on your arm. I'm assuming that Ned wanted you to bring back her will and testament. I'd appreciate it if you brought it to me instead.
Okay. That was a clause in the contract. It is an optional clause. One obviously that carries considerable, payment for our end. So, in the interest of a bargain, what would you offer for us to go back on this? It is signed, so you understand.
The signing of contracts. Well, I am Catrice's familiar now. It is the contract that I made when I probably shouldn't have, and I am hoping to deal, and if there is a way to get out of this, if Catrice is not responding to Ned or myself, I fear the worst, and I would very much like to not have my contract simply passed on to Ned.
Interesting. Can I attempt something similar to what, getting names, making sure I got it, to what Lodestone did with Neb, claiming to be a familiar? I'd imagine could there be something I could pick up, magically speaking, like a link or anything like that? Or I guess I could just press for more information.
Yeah, you could do either. You could press for some information. You could try and just feel some things out magically. That is something that is harder to do, especially if anybody is trying to mask any of this stuff. Just Lodestone got a very good roll.
Yeah. Attunement is a good stat for Dendron, but I think that with this, Dendron does hear Felly talk often. Never really has the chance nor desire to attempt to practice it, but I think at this point he knows that being like, "Wait here while I go get my very smooth talking friend," would probably not actually work out for the best if this is the time that this familiar chose to.
He did say you could go get your friends if you chose. So if that is something that Hawthorne would be more comfortable with, he did explicitly offer that.
Let's go ahead and we're gonna have a conversation. I think that Hawthorne does this thing where I just start throwing cones at the window I know Felly is in.
Yep.
Okay. When he sees you doing that, I think the familiar is going to, yes, a tactic I know how to do well. And he's going to fly up to one of the other windows and he's going to start bumping into it.
Okay.
And
All right, perfect.
let me roll real quick. Quindle, you were woken by a boom, boom. You're on the second floor and something is bumping into your window.
This is exciting for me. Extremely
and
exciting.
Pine cones.
And I'm pine-coned? Okay, great. So I'm gonna open my window, and as I do so, a pine cone is probably going to hit me in the face.
Right. Yeah. For the record, saw you open it through one more. Just now.
That's the type of friends with you. Okay.
And just for the record, the Silicari rooms are in the basement. And so Lodestone is in the basement. He doesn't have a window. He's going to sleep through all of this.
Unless somebody comes gets you, I think that's reasonable. Yeah.
I'll because a very squirrelish thing. I'll skitter up to the window and just very lithely, because I figured I have acrobatics too. Like I'm just like all over the place, and I probably weigh. I mean, I'm guessing my species probably as an adult probably weigh 10 pounds. Like we're super light.
Not more than 50.
Yeah.
And that's with your clothing and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna look out. We see this thing flying.
Yeah, just kind of branches, just pointing to this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Felly says, "Holy bajelephant!" And I guess I will go outside to see what the hell this is.
And Quindle, do you open the window?
Yeah, and can I? This seems like something. Can I use my perception surge again? This seems like an opportune time again. Is there a time?
Sure. What are you checking for?
I'm just saying, what the heck is this thing? And just really kind of like gauging, because I look out the window and I see him throwing pine cones at his window. He opens it up. I see this thing, getting me, and then I just want to just completely assess the situation right now and get every bit of information I can glean from this exact moment that's happening right now. Because
Sure.
I thought the day ended, and now this is happening. So
Give me a. We're not going to worry about the resource right now. Most of the resource pools with poise and so on, those refill pretty quickly, and so there's probably not going to be an issue. So yes, that activates. Go ahead and give me a logic roll with advantage, which
Okay.
means you will roll one extra attribute die, and then you will drop the lowest or keep the highest.
okay,
Is basically what you want.
all right, that's better. The
Plus
20
a
was a
D20.
4.
Don't forget your D20.
Yeah, so the D20 was a 14, and I rolled twice, and I rolled a 6, and I rolled an 8.
So the 8.
And that's on a D8.
Yeah.
So you get to roll the D8 a second time. So you have 14 plus 8 for 22. Roll it again.
Another 8.
So 30. Okay, yeah. So you activate this ability and are quickly bringing in all the information, and you know what's happening. Like, of course, you were offered a job. Somebody else is coming up with a counteroffer. They went to Hawthorne because he was outside. Hawthorne didn't want to do much of the talking, so he contacted Felly, and then this creature knows that you were in this room, and it's time for you guys to all gather and negotiate. You should probably go get Lodestone. Just like all of that very quickly.
Yeah,
Wow.
just like that. I'll scoot down. I'll basically just like scoot down the side of the building, and then just kind of like tick 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 with my feet to the basement door. Or I'm sure because there are fire codes, and there's probably a secondary form of egress in every building. So I'm sure that I'm scampering my feet to the There
You're
are
going
ocean
into the
requirements.
least flammable
Yeah.
portion
Yeah.
of this building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With a 30, I presume he also knows about the Bajelephant's foot fetish or something. Just deep personal detail.
The other things that you pick up is this is clearly a magical creature. Is the other thing that's going on here, because
Yeah.
the mode of flight with that size of body and the wings that it's using doesn't make any sense. And the way that the body is built, like this is either going to be a monster or this. There doesn't seem to be a ton of rhyme or reason to it, but I don't know. Is there anything else you want to know about this creature?
Just basic, with that perception surge, just basically it's just like as much of an origin story I can deduce from the situation about this. And I immediately just like whatever information after letting Lodestone know by just like clipping my feet there, I just vomit all this information into sorry, what's your character's name again?
Mine?
Yeah. No, I know Hawthorne. No, yeah.
Aaron,
Me or
like
him?
Felly.
No, Felly. That's what it is.
Yeah, Felly. Yeah,
Felly, I
Felicia's
just tell
Felly.
Felly. Yes. All of that into, yeah.
Nice.
And I'm
the
just
other thing
excited.
that
I'm just totally excited about this. And I just perch onto Hawthorne. I have a favorite branch I hang out on. And I just, yeah.
Nice.
I think the other thing that you figure out is, given its anatomy, if you had to deal with this creature, you could probably knock it down and get it on its back. And if you could manage the trunk, it would have a hard time getting up. But it probably would have to use its trunk and the wing case to try and right itself. So, if it came to it, get it on its back.
Got it. Okay. So Felly is listening to all of this, taking this in bleary-eyed. And
Lodestone, any issues getting you up or anything like that?
Not particularly.
Okay, cool. Sorry, can continue, Felly.
Of course. So I'm taking this creature in. Now I notice its voice has a very deep voice. It also has a different accent. Do we know anything about where this creature might be from? Do I know anything about the region it might be from, or any kind of cultural things? Obviously, this creature, I don't know what the hell this is. I've not seen a creature like this, I presume.
No, there's not anything specific you're able to pick out with that.
Fantastic. Okay then, so seeing he's not heard me talk yet, I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to try and mimic him just enough that I sound a little more rustic, a little more, more from his region. Just try and speak his language.
I just want to point out the meta perspective that we've got going on here, because I've done voices my whole life, but I did Aaron's class on voice acting stuff, so that's part of where I'm more comfortable with my Scottish. So I'm doing a Scottish character who has a very weird modified voice, and then he is imitating me doing my imitation of Scottish. So I just wanted to make that perfectly clear.
We're like a fractal at this point. So and I'm gonna move my arm almost kind of trunk-like. So I'm not a trunk myself, but this is
A physicality.
I'm just really want to get into the body of this guy so that he trusts me a little bit more, maybe. And so I'm gonna say, well, you make a very interesting proposition, sir. But originally we weren't quite sure whether we could trust Nib, and now it sounds like he might not have been telling us the whole truth. How do we know you're telling us the whole truth?
How do we know anyone's telling us the whole truth? There's a certain point where you just got to trust, isn't it? I mean,
My eyes are wide open. I'm like, this is so true.
yes, he's like, what is the nature of truth? Quinn is like, whoa.
I'm rolling up a piece of hawthorn right now.
But what I will do is I can tell you my name, is Nakimura, and I can actually lead you to Catrice's place.
I was literally going to ask that. I was going to be like, I don't think Neb is coming with us, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, I mean, that is kind of a good point, that Neb doesn't know where it is and isn't allowed in. Are you allowed in?
It's complicated.
She does not like visitors.
No,
Hawthorne says,
she
I'm
does-
used to being outside, but this is ridiculous.
So
No,
why
she does
does
not. But how? Go ahead, Lodestone.
so why does Neb want the paperwork?
So, at the risk of being pedantic, how do I know I can trust you with the information you're asking for?
I'm not asking why you want the paperwork. I'm asking why he wants the paperwork. If you want us to take your job instead of his job, we need to know why we shouldn't take his job.
Right. Sorry. So in my head, that response was more to Felly's initial question of why can't you why can't you be allowed in? But yes, when you ask that, it's like, oh, well, I don't know what is going on in Neb's mind, but I'm sure he mentioned the contracts. I mentioned the contracts. The will and testament of Catrice and people of her like. They have power that can be in there. I am her familiar. If I am a familiar, and this is very particularly not called a slave, though I might say that is what I am. And with the will and testament, which, Felly, you can see that he's trying to work around some limitations very clearly with how he is choosing some of his words.
Like maybe magical limitations, or perhaps. Okay.
And what is your mental defense score?
Whoa.
Okay. Let's see. Mental.
So
what would that
what
be?
is your
Is that resolve?
what is your resolve?
Only 13.
Okay. So that's very much what you're getting. Is it sounds like he is having to work around some kinds of limitations on how he talks about things. But with these contracts, with the will and testament, Neb could take control or take ownership of the contracts and pass them on to himself or to anyone he likes, really.
And so, what you want is to be free? Okay, right.
And if you can bring the will and testament to me, I can make sure that happens. And then, if you need, you can continue to take it on to Neb from there.
That sounds like double dipping, boys.
Yeah, I think Hawthorne even says, like, technically, and, like, you know, maybe it's not breaking contract if we do bring it to Neb.
We didn't
an
say we wouldn't
alteration
bring
that
it to someone else first.
Right, he doesn't
And we
know
never
that.
said it was going to be unaltered.
Right. I'm
Players,
pretty good with
man.
my contracts. And it's not pretty watertight with my contracts, you know. Didn't know my tree person was a lawyer, but here we are.
And it's not like we do everything strictly by the book. And I'm like playing around with the toe ring.
Yeah, exactly. You know who you hired. Let's be honest. Right?
Does Lodestone recognize is this Nakimura? Is this a type of creature that Lodestone would be able to identify? Is this a natural creature? Is this something from another plane?
You could attempt a knowledge roll.
Okay.
If you have any skills in magic, you could get the bonuses from those.
None of my skills are gonna.
Yeah, I think that would
work for
just
that.
be a flat
Knowledge roll.
then.
Okay.
I'm noticing how much I geared my guy towards just protect. He protects.
Yeah.
And that's
Um,
fine. That's gonna come up
So
for
I'm
sure.
going to guess the lodestone probably doesn't, because that's an 8 + 2, 10 total.
There is nothing definitive that you are able to recall.
Okay.
There
Fair
are
enough.
I mean,
very strange creatures in Aeonia, for sure. You've already
And-
encountered some. You've seen some bestiaries. This could be an imitation of one of those creatures, whether that's a creature that is indigenous to this place, whether this is a creature from another plane. Like, you don't know. There's so many questions, so many
Okay.
possibilities.
I'm wondering if Catrice made the thing, like crafted or warped it. I don't know. I don't know
That's
what
even an
Herbalist
option.
does.
I'm wondering if it came through one of the portals
Hmm?
that she's been opening, right? Like,
Oh
you know.
yeah. Okay, so here's my thought. Hold on. Can I tell? I'd like to say to the beetle. Can I have just a moment to confer with my compatriots here?
Of course.
Hawthorne literally creates like a thicket, like dome that we just like a huddle,
Perfect.
like a thicket huddle that we just.
And he will, Nakimura will buzz away to
Very polite.
land up on the roof of the inn.
Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna say, okay, guys, look. Now, I mean, I know that I may not be the most morally upright person on earth, but I'm not down with slavery, man. I mean, gross. I mean, come on. Now, here's the deal. It doesn't mean that we don't want to get paid. So, if he is like secretly a demon or something, then we bring this thing to him and we're screwed, right? But if we make him pay like half up front and then we bring it to him, then he turns out to be a demon. You know, we're not entirely out, but if he was a slave, he modifies it or whatever, the will and testament, then we bring it to Neb. We double our payday or whatever this creature can pay.
I see that. I see this, fella. This is exactly like the Wyvern's Nest all over again. I think this is fine. We already went through this before. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, because they're both sketchy, right? I half expect before the sun comes up, some other random sketchy person's gonna come up that also wants the will and testament.
What?
Halfway
No,
through the woods.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Correct. Snows.
Halfway through the woods. Oh, you're going up to Catrice's, huh?
I mean, he did also say that he can help us find the place, so that implies
Right.
that he is going to be coming with us.
Right? Yeah, it's true.
And just between you, me, and the tree. Sorry, no offense.
No.
He looks very squishable. I think if he acts up, I think I can squish him.
I'd presume so too. I don't know. If
I
he
don't
has,
want
like-
to, but I
Yeah.
could.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he has like weird venom sacs or like. I'm not really putting anything off the
I'm
table.
literally made of rock.
Well, yeah, but not all of us are made of rock, right? That's convenient
That
for
sounds
you.
like a you problem, Philly.
And then Hawthorne's kind of like, that's where I come in. I protect. I love the idea that he says, like, I protect our soft one. And he doesn't look at Grindel, he looks at Belly. The soft one, and it's that one.
I am 98% positive this was a great idea, Philly. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's
Right.
find out what he can pay.
Yeah.
I would like to return to the Bajelephant to discuss terms. Hopefully, he's not a wood-boring Bajelephant if he betrays us.
So you signal Nakimura to come back.
Mm-hmm.
He comes back and is hovering before you. Well, what did you decide then?
Well, we've decided we are anti-slavery, and so we'd like to help you. but we also like
Good.
money.
Good.
And we don't know if you're actually some kind of demonic entity that's going to betray us at the first opportunity. So we're wondering what you can pay, if anything, and or what you can offer. And if so, if you could offer half up front, because you're going to come with us anyway, right?
This is where it gets complicated. I can give you the means to find Catrice's place, and I can help you understand the knowledge and the things that are hidden there. But in terms of money, I'm a familiar.
Right.
He doesn't even get paid. Hawthorne's like, oh,
That's how slavery works.
yeah.
Right.
It's like, right.
Right.
Right, slavery, unwilling.
Right.
Unwilling shit.
So there are other forms of currency. There's knowledge. There's access to other things. There is, from my understanding, there is purple bottles at this location as well.
There are purple stained bottles.
No, I see back to that stained part too.
So
They're very insistent about this not purple bottle.
But yes, knowledge and access is some of the things that I can do for you.
well, crap.
Let's-
I mean,
let's-
yeah, yeah. I mean, right, guys?
Felly,
I mean, right?
let's be honest here. If we had to find it on our own without any help, it's going to take us a whole lot longer.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And
the
also, traps
information
might
would-
kill us.
Right, that too. But but
Me, anyway, maybe not you.
The information in and of itself should be sufficient payment. Because time is money, and
Mm-hmm.
anything.
Yeah,
that
I
reduces
mean-
the amount of time that it takes us to do it should be helpful, right?
I'm pro helping the elephant.
Oh, is that what they're called?
Yes.
Lodestone believes him.
So, if I could get a either presence or manipulation from somebody, I think this is manipulation.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, not it.
I have a 0 in manipulation.
Me too.
I have a 1, but it's definitely not. Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely not the
I
person
think
you want.
Ellie probably has the most manipulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
All
is-
right,
he is
here
the
I go.
social.
Here I go. 14 and an 8, so 22.
And you all can hear the music, right? That's all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Okay, because I forgot to turn it back on. 14 and an 8. Let me check something real quick.
Hey, Felly, you should ask him what he can pay us after his contract is ended.
Like,
Listen, if he can,
like
if
what?
He can,
Free labor? What do you want from him at this?
one magical favor. Well, I mean, if he can alter the contract that binds him, then presumably, he can do something magical, or at least, maybe he can be like, oh, those things that they all took from my master's cottage were never here to begin with.
My malicious ex-master, yes.
I was
So,
thinking that, yeah.
are any of you herbally inclined?
Just a rustle.
I mean, he's literally a tree.
Let me
so-
rephrase that. And,
A shrug.
are any of you interested in harvesting of plants or knowledge of plants?
A very different kind of bristle.
I don't know what that means.
Hands off my cones, man.
So I'm gonna say that sounds like hard work, but I bet that Hawthorne would be very interested in that.
So, there's the kind of mushroom that you can get in Catrice's place that is pretty valuable. It is used by a lot of herbalists in some of the more complicated recovery concoctions.
Tilly likes the sound of this.
Yeah. I think Hawthorne says something like, nobody knows this, but some of my best friends are mushrooms.
And where did it go?
Yeah, and Hawthorne, once again, this is the same, tightrope that he was walking, trying to gauge Neb, which is, as an Arborean, there's probably plenty of herbalists and people I have worked with, cooperated with to make things happen. Bark samples, whatever. Cones, all these things they can use for whatever. But then there are other people who, like you said, forcefully take or what have you, and there's just kind of a kindred spirits of take only what you need, or do it responsibly, keep the plant alive, don't just cut it and leave. So Hawthorne's biggest concern is not necessarily what's there, but how it's being procured.
So, what I can tell you is there's a door there. There's a number of doors, but there's going to be one that you're going to be interested in for sure. And just make sure you're careful when you're opening them. A number have thorn traps inside. But for the mushrooms, if there's things you're interested in harvesting, they can regrow rather quickly. Now, Catrice is rather paranoid and continues to change up defenses. And when you approach, when you get close to her place, you should. And you see he's trying to say something.
Yeah.
And he's, what's the phrase? Don't hold your breath. Don't do that.
Now, does that mean don't hold your breath, or don't hold your breath?
He tries to say.
Yeah. And Hawthorne's like, I don't breathe through lungs. That's definitely impossible for me, I think.
You guys breathe?
Yeah.
You all breathe.
We're sending in lodestone. We're sending in lodestone.
You all breathe. You are all susceptible to the same stuff.
Yeah.
But that's what you convince him to offer you in terms of some kind of advance.
Got it. I'll take it.
That is about all I can tell you until the Pisky contract is
Got it. Okay. So yeah, I think you've got yourself a deal. We should write up a. Yeah.
There comes the bark, right?
He immediately just hovers 4 feet back. He's like, no more contracts. You can do it or you cannot.
Well, if anything, it makes us less beholden to any
Yeah.
kind of,
Yeah. We'll do. Where should we meet you when we've got the contract?
I'll find you. That should be easy enough. Oh, and you're gonna need this. And he's gonna hover back down and drop what looks to be like a plume of pine needles. So as you're going to find their place, he, with some rather deft maneuvering with his trunk, he wraps it around, and then the trunk comes up and plucks a needle off, and then drops it. And the needle kind of spins through the air, and then as it gets to the ground, it turns into a faster circle, and then it stops and is pointing in a particular direction for about a second, and then it falls to the ground, and then it falls the rest of the way to the ground.
Nice.
That's awesome. Part of me, as
Collect
Hawthorne,
those.
wants to roll either knowledge or attunement on that, but I don't think that's anything I'm going to pick up. That's more clearly just the witches.
You are welcome to.
Yeah. Just for fun, I'll throw one out there just in case.
Okay.
Nah, nope. Strong 12.
It's pretty
so.
cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's mostly like those needles look interesting. Like, do I know that guy? And I'm like, nah, I don't.
And so if there's nothing else that you guys want, you are able. So Nakimra is. I'll look forward to seeing what you decide, and then he's gonna disappear up into the night, and you guys are able to go back to bed. You can go back to your separate rooms. You can go back and into one room. You can all go and sleep in the basement if you want. Like, it's up to you guys.
I'm probably going to prop up outside with the tree in case, so that he doesn't have to engage in any awkward social situations without me. That was a mistake on my part, really. I'm going to set up a little hammock, maybe. It's nice out there anyway.
We definitely have a system where, like, this is not the first time it's been like, sorry, here's the hammock, set it up. Yeah.
Especially between you and another tree, right? You just walk to a nearby tree,
Yeah.
and you're just like one half of the one half of the thing.
That's great.
Lodestone's going back to the basement. This is the first time he's had an actual bed in weeks. He is going to sleep in his actual bed.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Bedrock.
I already made my nest in the bed, so I'm gonna
Scurry back
jump. Yeah, scurry back up and
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a precision roll, just for fun.
Just for scurrying.
you
Can I get a
want me
scurry
to
roll?
fall. All right, let's see here.
This is mostly me trying to add more of the mechanics because I think you have climbing or you have some skills that would apply here.
Yes, I got acrobatics and I also got. Oh, you said precision?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
that's
see, not that it would have made dramatic sense, but I do have throwing as a skill, so that's why we know I was hitting the windows just right.
Mm-hmm.
So I got I rolled a 9 on my d20 and I rolled a 5 on my d10, so it was a 14.
Yeah, that is plenty, and then you get a +1 from your acrobatics. I think that applies. We'll apply it in this case because
Okay.
one shot, whatever.
That would be embarrassing. You ever watch a squirrel fall down from a tree? It's like, there's something wrong with that squirrel.
It was just a chance for comedic beat, nothing sinister at all. But you guys are able to settle in and rest for the night. And when the sun comes up, you hear. How early do you guys want to get up?
Sunrise.
Yeah. I'll probably wake up nice. I want to wake up when Bethany's waking up, so I'm gonna kind of keep an ear out for when their kitchen sounds coming online.
Okay, so you guys wake up. Hawthorne, you may stomp in and wake up the others. It's all
Lodestone is going to sleep until someone gets him.
He's gonna wake up at the crack of noon. Right?
If nobody wakes him up, he'll go like 3 days if nobody wakes him up.
And Neb did have extra instructions left with Bethany for you guys.
Nice.
It does have a note that says, P.S. Do not alter any documents you find.
Of course.
We
that
signed
was
this contract before that.
It's true. It's not in the contract.
It is just a P.S. of where he was. It's like P.S.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah, we'll take that under advisement.
Legally null and void.
So
Hawthorne pulls out these like glasses and just kind of like.
The sun hits them and it makes a beam, and I just start singeing a little bit more. And I'm like,
So with that, I think we've got enough time. We can push ahead a little bit more, because especially with the negotiations that you had with Neb and with Nakimra, you have now multiple mechanisms to help you get to Catrice's place. But it is the wilds, So we're going to be doing a quick little scene challenge. So I really just want to know what you guys are doing to successfully navigate. You have stuff to help you, but you quickly learn that the needles point just directly in the direction, not necessarily up not in a traversable direction.
I think between Lodestone and Hawthorne, we could probably blaze a trail pretty well, but it depends on how wild those are.
When you set out from town, the forest, there's a fair bit of old growth. So there's room for you to move between the trees, but it's easy to get lost as well. Even in these clifflands, like the cliff faces help, but especially when you're looking up through the canopy, it can be hard to distinguish one cliff face from another. The sun kind of helps, but as you guys are setting out, just give me some ideas of something you would like to do to make sure that you find your way or to ease your travels. And anybody can propose a role.
So I would, for me, it's being based off of my species. I predict myself also just like climbing up, just like scurrying up to the top of like the crown of the trees and just looking and just kind of like navigating where a good direction could head and come back down, and then perch myself on Hawthorne and just kind of like regale where I think we should be heading, and just scurry back up once in a while and come back down again, and just
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and give me another precision roll. This will include acrobatics as you're jumping around in the trees.
Of course. All right, here we go. All right. Precision. Wait, precision? You said precision?
Yeah, precision. It's one of your physical attributes.
Oh, I had to scroll up. Okay, there it is. All right, so that's a 13. No, that's a 19. And I got a 3 on my D10.
So 22 total. Wow. Okay, very nice. Yeah, I think it sounds like that's part of how you guys are navigating. Is Nebanat gave you a list of some of the landmarks for you to watch for. It's a bit of a jaunt to go find Catrice's place, but especially moving through the trees, jumping from branch to branch, occasionally scurrying down, making sure your group is with. That's definitely a big help in making sure that you're going in the right direction. What does happen is one of the things that is kind of unavoidable is you make your way through the trees for a while and you end up coming across a cliff face because you're in a bunch of clifflands. You guys can try and climb. You can try and find a way around, which might end up being a very long route, or you can get clever with something I'm not thinking of. But that's kind of what ends up happening is your route ends up taking you to a cliff face. And it's not like a mountain or anything, but it is a good probably 40 feet tall, right? So, taller than several buildings.
I imagine of all of us, no offense, Lodestone, this is probably going to be the toughest on you, unless you have some like stone kind of ability.
You would think that, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
What do you do?
I say with a knowing smile.
Perfect, because I was going to say, I have abilities, like I have like a root ability that I feel like I could use to almost like vine-like, grab on pretty well to cliff faces. For stability purposes. They're not roots as much as like, the word, but I kind of used it as like a stabilization kind of thing. And, vines will send out their tendrils and hook on and they can hold on to rock faces, no problem. So I was thinking, if we needed, I could kind of be slowly. We would have to go slow, but I could inch up pretty.
What you could probably do is you could probably climb part way up and use that to become like a stable platform.
Yep,
but
that too.
When you do that, you're stationary. Like you're
correct.
You're not.
Yeah, it would be more to like help everyone else get up. And when I say everyone else, I'm thinking mostly Felly.
Yeah.
used to be strong hands.
Yeah, because Feli has nothing of any
Good
such
reference.
sort. Wait!
A single
Wait a
chalice.
minute! Wait a minute! Just what I needed. Hold on. Can I use my magical power to have, like, I don't know,
Climbing gear.
a grappling hook and rope or climbing gear?
Yeah, go ahead and read off your ability and the description.
Fortune. Just what I needed. -10 max bond points while sustained. It's the genesis or conjuration of small items. Description. You have a knack for finding exactly what you need when you need it. This ability can be used to conjure a small, non-living object you wish. The penalty to your bond points exists as long as you keep the item. This cannot be used to generate magical or unique quest items, but things like keys to a specific door are possible.
Yeah, you can definitely use that. Go ahead and give me a just as part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and give me. Where'd it go? Get back here. Give me a force roll.
Fantastic. All right, so I've got a score of 4, so that looks like a D10. So is it the
Nice.
D20 and D10 again?
Yes, which for people, I could have covered this earlier. The attributes break down into 4 categories: mental, physical, social, and magic. Each of them has 3 attributes. One about the power of that field, one about the deftness of that field, and one about the durability of the field. Force is magical power, so I'm having him roll to see what degree of effect we get from this ability.
Fantastic. Okay, let's see what happens here. Here we go. We have a 15 and a 5. We've got 20.
20. All right, that is a. You guys are rolling really good.
Not me, but I have had low stakes rolls, so it's good.
So, as you guys are walking up along the base of the cliff, looking for a good place to scale, you see the tail end of a rope up at the top. Now, there might be a whole coil up there. That's your guess. What this is somebody else has been coming through here and set up a rope to make traversing this particular cliff easier. You're not too far from Titan Crest, so that's reasonable, but you're going to have to get to the rope.
Okay, so the
Yes.
rope is up a little bit? Or down?
It is at the top of the cliff, yes.
It's at the top of the cliff. Okay.
Don't worry, I've got it. And I'm going to start climbing the rock face.
Are you climbing or are you using your
I
ability?
am climbing.
Okay.
I'm going to be using an ability once I get about halfway up.
Okay.
Because my ability has a 20-foot range.
Oh, yikes! We have to be out of that range. Gotcha.
Go ahead.
but
and
I have-
give me a strength roll.
And I am also going to use my skill Physical Exertion on this one.
That's good. That'll be what? How many ranks do you have?
1 rank in that one.
1 rank, so that'll be a +1.
All right. So that is a 17 plus 7, 24 plus 1, 25. Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he gets about halfway up, and then he is going to use his skill Slingshot, which allows him to ignore the effects of gravity for 20 feet. So he's
Nice.
So he's going to get up to the point where it starts to flare back, and then he's just going to turn on anti-gravity and scurry the rest of the way up.
Wow.
So is it something where you're kind of scrambling up, or is it something where you just kind of get like a burst?
It's you see his he sort of goes from climbing hands and feet to climbing just hands. And then you notice that his legs are just sort of swaying back and forth as he's climbing with his hands, as though he doesn't weigh as much as he should.
Okay.
So it's not like a full on falling in reverse.
Not quite.
okay.
No.
Okay.
So, yeah, Lodestone, you are able to make it up to the top. There is a coil of rope that you're able to kick down to make available to the others. Who is going to be up next?
I was gonna make that halfway up platform if anyone needed it.
Okay.
But
So with the rope, here's kind of what I'm picturing. Is Hawthorne goes halfway up and then stabilizes. If you could read your ability and description real quick.
so it is more of a skill I have. I just put a skill in I put rooting. Like root.
Okay.
Like just so I thought it'd be like strength or endurance. I do have a living bulwark move, which is like I can make a wall of myself, like an enormous extension, which I guess could be the platform if you would like me to use that one.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Okay. So I'll get the nicer write up of it that you gave me. But effectively, I let's see. Living bulwark says your roots grow deep and your limbs spread wide. You turn yourself into a living fortification with increased defenses that cannot move or be moved. You may extend yourself into a longer barrier at the cost of 1 additional bond point and poise, up to a max of 15 feet wide. So yeah, I kind of just attach myself to the wall and make like a halfway up, just like a spot to reconvene, whatever we need to do, depending on. Yep.
Okay. So you clamber up and you do that. You create the bulwark where you are kind of spread out into a nice ledge. And Felly, you were starting to climb up the rope.
Mhm.
When Quindle, you see something up on the up along the top of the cliff that peeks over, and you're not sure what it is at first. And then a form slips over the edge and starts scurrying along the wall toward Felly and towards Hawthorne. It
Whoa.
looks like a blend between a boar, but it's like a
Whoa.
boar and a long-limbed chimp, where its legs are much longer and more spindly than you would expect. Big hulks of muscle around the shoulders, as it's able to like hook and swing along the surface of the cliff. And that's where we're going to have a pause here, and we'll be picking up. Because of how this works, we ended up needing to do part 1 in 2 parts, which will be fine. I'll figure out if I want to do this as 2 separate videos or not. But that's where we're going to pause for here, as this creature swings along the cliff towards Felly.
Nice.
It's the boar champies. I've seen these before.
Mhm.
Boar champies. That's awesome.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Hey, sorry to interrupt, but I've got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is we need to wrap this video up here. Good news is that we will be back right away, and the rest of this adventure with the rest of the players. We had some scheduling stuff that we had to rearrange, but we've got the next part that'll be coming out soon, and we will then be doing what was going to be part 2 as part 3 in the live stream on October 25th, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And this is all, of course, related to the book launch for Spawn Point over here. And that is the launch party for that is going to be starting at 1 p.m. Pacific time. I hope to see you there. If not, I just hope you've been enjoying the adventure so far. We've been having a great time. So that's all for now. So whatever you do, make sure that you keep writing and you stay awesome. See ya.